I get it. I get it why many of you choose to become fallen angels and choose to cross over into that dark path without having to exert the discipline and the patience necessary to walk the straight and narrow path. Walking the straight and narrow path is not everything that it appears or is cracked up to be. It requires so much discipline and so much patience, so much integrity and honor, even when no one's looking. Walking the straight and narrow path is not for everybody. You are always strenuously tested, and then tested again, and then tested some more before seemingly receiving an ounce of what the divine promised you. The gifts and rewards that you desire and the things that you desire the most and look forward to will be different for everybody. Some might desire true love, true friendship, true companionship. Others might desire comfortability, just to be able to rest, reflect, relax. Others may desire, being able to progress in life in a way that they no longer have to worry about finances. But we know as chosen, as divine beings, that the test from the divine is always warranted to ensure that mistakes of the past never happen again, that the influences, the infiltration of the evil and wicked ones never is allowed to overtake our safe havens in the higher realms where these devils were casted out. And often, those of you who have a date with destiny, your alignment, your higher consciousness, your awakening, somehow, some way with your gifts and abilities that you were aligned with, that you were given and was passed down to you from your predecessors, your beloved ancestry, the ones who support you and love you, not the ones who provided the curses on your bloodline, but the ones who actually support you, protect you, guide you, and offer their assistance when you are ready to receive it. These gifts, I'm realizing, is not enough. It is not all that is to being a chosen. The gifts is the tools that allow you to allow the divine to channel through you, speak to you, speak through you, and co-create with you. However, I realize and I'm observing choices and actions and mindset and maturity level, spiritual and mentally, physically. These play an important roles on what happens next throughout our spiritual career or advancement. Many chosen, many gifted, many light workers who are supposed to know better, but by way of past traumatic experiences, disappointments, setbacks, immaturity, lack of experiences, some reason end up becoming fallen angels when approached with opportunities of illusions, when approached with rewards and gifts from demonic and corrupt criminal networks and organizations that ensure you don't have to work as hard. You don't have to be in alignment. You don't have to allow yourself to be tested strenuously over and over and over and over before receiving a nice life, a good time, a great time, having fun, letting your hair down, cutting loose, letting loose, being able to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. Why join the straight and narrow path where you're always tested and you're always expected to be disciplined and patient and pass your test and be spiritually responsible and spiritually mature before receiving an ounce of what you were promised? Why walk that straight and narrow path when you can just receive whatever it is you want from this side over here and have as much fun as you want on this side over here? and not have to have any responsibility and accountability for as long as that lasts. But you don't have to think about that right now. Just enjoy these gifts, these illusions, these victories, these sinful victories that was at the behest and at the demise of innocent souls or someone else's blessings, destined path, spiritual gifts. You don't have to think about that stuff on this side, on that dark side. Why allow yourself to be tested by the divine repeatedly, constantly, and the divine telling you, great job, we're proud of you, keep going, you're doing an amazing job. And yet you're still saying, well, doesn't it work by way of every test I pass? Am I gifted and rewarded what was promised? Everything, every mountain I climb, everything I go through, everything I accomplish, am I not blessed? Am I not rewarded a cookie, so to speak? When we were little, those of you who had grandmothers, grandparents, aunts, and uncles who loved you and rewarded you by way of a quarter back in the day, that was enough to get enough penny candy and quarter waters. When you had a grandmother or an aunt or an uncle or older cousin or whatever, and or a neighbor, somebody else's grandmother who was your neighbor, and you raked the leaves out of their yard, or you took the trash out for them, or you did some good deed, and they rewarded you with $1 or some change, and you didn't hear an excuse of, rake the leaves today, and I'll wait years when you grow up, and I'll reward you with $1. Or your grandmother say, I love you, and, get good grades in school and bring me your report card, and I'll buy you a bike when you turn 12, but you're currently 5 years old, but you gotta wait till you turn 12 to get a bike. Some things don't add up being a chosen, being a divine one, as we relate it to our own thinking and understanding in a way that we think things should naturally progress. You don't expect to hear at 5 years old that if you do good now, years from now, decades from now, you'll be gifted and rewarded. So I get it why you fallen angels choose the path that you choose. Because those of us who want to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, because we want the order and of nature and the divine to balance itself out without any expectations of gifts or rewards, right? Even though we have desires, even though desires is teetering on a dangerous line, because if you have desires, then it's easy to influence you or disappoint you. But I get it. I understand. But there are far more dire consequences for being on that side. There are no protections. There is no help. There is no honor amongst thieves, as many of you are beginning to understand and realize. And even the strenuous testing of the divine, the Most High, your beloved angels and ancestors, is warranted, again, as previously stated, to ensure that the higher realms of consciousness and existence is no longer or ever able to be infiltrated. Just like many of you narcissistic sociopaths and participants within these criminal networks are able to infiltrate in the churches, infiltrate the community centers, infiltrate the schools, infiltrate the fraternities and local businesses, and pass yourselves off as pastors, reverends, good police officers, magistrate judges, and medical professionals, and good people overall who are supposed to be honored, respected, and trusted, and yet belong to these sinister, dark cults and covens and criminal networks and organizations that are further tied into human trafficking. It is necessary for checks and balances to be in place. These archangels, these Elohim, these gods and goddesses, these deities of old, of ancient times, is not going to allow these devils, these demons, these wolves in sheep clothing to bypass the gates in certain realms in order to create chaos and havoc ever again. but I do get it. Sometimes you just want the divine to release what was promised beyond excuses and reasons of, well, if we give it to you now, these devils and demons are waiting to swoop in and take it and steal it. Well, remove them then. Get them out the way. If we've passed the test and we showed discipline and did what we were supposed to do, move these damn demons out the way, expose them and hold them accountable, whatever needs to be done. But if they refuse to stop, and if they refuse to ignore the warnings, then why are we pigeonholed and held hostage to these goddamn devils? Divine, move them out the way. Sit them down. So your gifts and rewards and promises can come into full fruition for those who earned it.